Welcome back to another episode of Slickworks, everybody. In this episode, I wanted to share with you guys a story about kind of a special car. This is my 1956 Dodge Custom Royal. So going back a number of years now, I was actually selected to host a TV show. It was about, not restoration, but revival without restoring it. Like basically getting old rusty cars back on the road without making them look good. So a fella approached me after seeing my YouTube channel and stuff like that, and he wanted me to host this TV show with two other co-hosts. The show was called Former Glory or Real Steel, something like that. So over the course of 3 days, we filmed in my shop before I had built it up as the shop that you can see now. And we had like a full sound setup in there. There was like a boom mic and we all had scripts. It was really well written, actually. A friend of mine made a post about this car and said if anyone wants a project car. So actually we went and checked it out, offered him $800 and he took it. This was pre-COVID tax prices, mind you. The door doesn't open. There we go. Yeah, so definitely needs a bit of work. Floor's got a little holiness to it, as well as its own ecosystem. You can see the moss growing. But yeah, this was a really nice car back in its day. You got your push button automatic. Of course, power everything. Power seats, power windows. Yeah, looking a little old now. Oh, I'll show you something neat about the radio too. So if you look at this push button radio, you see those two arrows next to the 6 and next to the 12 there? So those two arrows, kind of cool. So this car, 1956, was in the era of alien invasions or attacks from the USSR. You know, like the big sirens that you hear? Well, if you heard those sirens, you would dial your AM radio to one of those arrows, and the government would give you instructions on what to do next. The aliens are invading. They're dropping bombs. The Dodge Custom Royal is actually a really interesting car. Like, this one is interesting because it has the tri-tone paint job. Not sure if it came out of factory wearing that. But they also made a Texan version, which had like the Texas Lone Star State emblem, as well as a version called La Femme, which was specifically created for women. And the car itself actually came with a purse, I think a rain cap, an umbrella, that was all made in the exact same fabric as your interior. And the seats were upholstered in like a pale pink with lavender flowers and stuff like that. The car was basically a marketing experiment. Dodge, Chrysler dipped their paintbrush in a few different experiments. The Texan version, they made under 300 of those, and of course they were only sold in Texas.
You can tell a man from Texas, 'cause he's full of Texas pride. He drives a Dodge that's king size with the Texan branded on its side. His Dodge has push button driving, 230 horse V8.
It's got Dodge suntan styling.
It's the prettiest car in any state.
You can tell a man from Texas, 'cause he's full of Texas pride. He drives a Dodge that's king size with the Texan branded on its side.
I haven't been into this car in forever. I need 2 hands here. Oh, it feels crusty. There we go. Nothing alive. Got some hubcaps. Yeah, not much in here at all, besides a whole bunch of evidence of rodents. Let's go look in the horse stable. Oh. And here she is in all her glory. So I don't actually even know what engine this is. You can see someone painted everything red to try and make it look nicer. That when we originally bought this car, the engine was locked up, but we had it broken free within like 10 minutes. We had it turning over. It was getting spark. I found that out by shocking myself, but we didn't actually end up getting this thing running. Yeah, before the show was inevitably canceled. And before this car popped up and we bought this car, Vince, the executive producer, and I actually went out to tap into Mike Hall's Field of Dreams, and I filmed a whole episode there. I think it was episode 5 or something like that. And we found a few cars that were promising, but their producer with the Rust Valley guys, their producer said, no, you can't buy any of the cars on the lot for your TV show. That's conflict of interest or whatever. But I had a good time. It was a great trip with this old fella Vince.
If we ever find something that we need, I mean, we got an idea that the engine is, we can always bring an engine up with us as a standby. So.
Sure, we'll throw one in the glove box.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like filming, Vince and his son Arlo, like we had a good team. We built something cool. But at the end of the 3 days of recording and audio recording the pilot episode, Vince had all the audio and video assembled, and he pulled the plug on the project. He basically called me and he was like, Slick, I like what you're doing. I find the stuff that you're doing with your YouTube channel more entertaining than what I've created. But he said, I know you've worked really hard on this project that we were trying to create, so you can keep the car. So this is the car. So now, that was, I don't know, 3 years ago. So now let's get to why I'm making this episode now. Well, I sent Vince an email just yesterday, and it came back as email address not recognized. Huh. Vince Eagle, it's his production company's email, right? So I emailed his son Arlo, and I was like, hey, does Vince have a new email? What's going on? And he was like, oh, hey, Slick, sorry to inform you, but November 2022, Vince actually passed away. He had colon cancer, and it was he started to get better, and then it just went south from there. So so rest in peace, Vince. I had a great time working with you, and yeah. What's the plan for this car now? Well, I don't really have a plan for this car right now. I don't really have a plan for any of these cars except for the drift missile on the end there. That one was going to be turned into a hot tub if I ever win the lottery. That one is yard art. This one, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really want to even deal with the push button automatic and all the electronic stuff to it. You're looking at years of work. But this one, the van, yeah, I want to do something with the van one day. So that's the story with the old 56 Custom Royal that you may have seen in the background. It's kind of funny, like when we were selecting like the crew and like my co-hosts and stuff, like this girl Amber, like Vince was like, I want to see how you guys work together. So he set us up at my house with my shop, and we basically just put the camera on a tripod and just recorded while we did some stuff to Dylan, the Chevette back there. So that was kind of neat. You know, we figured out that we worked well together. Larry, the old guy, really cool guy. I think he's like a shop auto mechanic teacher or something like that. But he's a woodworker, and a fantastic woodworker too. He made me a cool little bowl. But anyway, so it was a cool experience. Like we got to sit down in the shop and have a full like meeting of the minds to figure out where we're going to go with the show. Right here in the shop, actually. But as you can see, it looks a whole lot different now.
This is a Wagonaire. Look at this. Air. No
Look at
air.
that. That's beautiful.
No air. Air. I like it.
But Vince was always a fan of my stuff. He liked what I was creating on YouTube, what I was making, the brand that I was building for myself. He liked my charisma, my eyes logo, and I don't know. It's too bad he's no longer with us. I'm sure you would totally get a kick out of watching this episode if they got YouTube up there. I don't know. And yes, Papa Smurf is still in progress back there. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. This is the episode that's going to be coming out next after this one. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Watch Slickworks on YouTube.